In this weekly Torah reading, we learn how Yitro, the father-in-law of Moshe, came and gave him a very good piece of advice that Moshe should not judge all the Jewish people by himself, because it's way too difficult both for everybody to get a kind of appointment to stand in line and wait till Moshe will have time to judge them and answer their halachic questions or whatever monetary disputes people had. It's better to have a whole complex system of judges and various other sages, the officers of thousands, etc., etc. Everybody knows the story, and that's how our parsha is called, Yitro. It starts with Yitro's advice, and by the way, the Druzes in Israel say that they're descendants of Yitro. We have no opinion on the matter. Maybe they're right, maybe they're not, but that they come from that clan, the Kinim, what was called Kini. Yitro and his family, maybe not direct descendants necessarily, but that this clan was always within the Jewish people. They were kind of our allies, just like they are today. The Israeli Druzes are some of the best allies Israel has. They feel completely Israeli and very friendly to the Jewish people in Israel. At any rate, this great person, Yitro, who merited to have his daughter marry Moshe, also merited to have a parsha named after him because of this advice. And that's, of course, the parsha of the giving of the Torah, Parshat Yitro. So the main question that's usually asked is, why didn't Moshe think about it himself? So one of the answers given, which makes a lot of sense, is that Moshe simply thought that he doesn't want to be too far from the people, that he's this, kind of very high judge figure that only special people can have access to. He wanted to show that he really wants to judge everybody. Make sure that if other people will be judges, there could be some mistakes that they'll make, but he's willing to come in contact with every Jew. As long as they'll wait, he'll wait. But in the end of the day, this system will never work with such a large population, and Yitro is right. So in a way, it worked out better that Moshe first showed that he wants to judge everybody, and he wants to be with the people, and that the people will have access to him. But after Yitro's advice, he's just forced to have a kind of hierarchy with various other judges on the lower level. But there is a very interesting dikduk, a specific learning from the exact wording used, that there is a difference between what Yitro said and what Moshe actually did. Yitro said that every davar gadol, a big thing literally, will be brought to you, and small things the other judges will judge. And Moshe didn't say gadol, he said kasher. Every hard thing they will bring to me. Everybody, all the not hard judgments, they'll judge themselves. What's the difference between the two? It's already a dispute in the Talmud and Masechet Sanhedrin, and there are a lot of different opinions. But I saw an interesting idea that apparently various sages arrived to independently. I first saw it in a book called Ateret HaMikra in the name of Rabbi Chaim Berlin. By the way, I happen to live next to yeshiva that's named after the sage. Rabbi Chaim Berlin was the son of Rabbi Naftali Tzvi Yehuda Berlin, Netziv Mivolozhin. And I saw it later in a different book, Shari Aron, in the name of MeAm Loez, who quotes Alshich. So I checked all these sources. Indeed, MeAm Loez, it's a Sephardic commentator, very popular. It used to be incredibly popular. It was written, actually, one of the few commentators of the Torah that are written in the language of Spanish Jews, a kind of Yiddish of Spanish Jews. Yiddish is a version of German with some Jewish words, medieval German, and Ladino is a similar language of Spanish Jews. Now, there are very few Spanish Jews left today. There are many Sephardim, what we call, but they're not really from Spain. Most of them are Edota Mizrach. Only very few are actual descendants of Spanish Jews. Spanish Jews were exiled at some point. Some of them were forcefully converted. There's a whole history of this. But at any rate, Spain used to be the leader of all the Jewish people. Most of the Rishonim come from Spain. But today, most Jews are either Ashkenazi or from Edota Mizrach. Very few are literally from Spain. But we generally call all Edota Mizrach Spanish Jews, Sfaradim, because of the similarity, and of course Rabbi Yosef Karo came from Spain. The main authority for all the Edot HaMizrach and Sephardi Jews was Rabbi Yosef Karo 500 years ago. He was born in Spain, but he was taken out of Spain at a very young age. Most of his life he lived in the Ottoman Empire and later in the land of Israel, which was also under Ottomans at that time, under the Turks. So this Sephardi sage happened to write not in Hebrew but in Loez. That's why he called it MeAm Loez. Loez is a foreign language, that's Ladino in this case. And it was incredibly popular commentary, and he quotes Alshich, another Sephardi sage, Rabbi Moshe Alshich. Rabbi Alshich actually lived in the times of Rabbi Yosef Karo in the same place, in Tzefat, in northern Israel, 500 years ago, in Galil. So Alshich arrived to a similar idea as Rabbi Chaim Berlin, apparently. Rabbi Chaim Berlin was much later. He was very, very recently, 100 years ago. But I don't know if you saw Alshich. Alshich's commentary is somewhat popular, but very few people today actually learn it all. It's a very long commentary. According to Arizal, who also lived in the same time in Tzfat, Alshich was destined to write Pshat. Not Sod, not Kabbalistic level of understanding, but specifically Pshat. That he's very good at explaining the simple meaning of the text. So all of these sages independently came to this, at least two of the sages, and the others quoting them, came to this interesting idea. We find that, for instance, in America, there's small claims court. So Yitro's advice, according to these sages, was that everything that has to do with a lot of money, you will decide. That needs a big sage to decide. Whereas when it's a claim of $20, right, if it's a small claim, then the other judges will decide. And on this, Moshe actually didn't agree. According to this, Moshe actually changed somewhat the advice of Yitro. He said specifically, bring to me all the hard cases. Doesn't matter if it's a lot of money or a little money is involved. As our sages teach in the Gemara Sanhedrin, that a judge should view a case of a little bit of money just like a case of a large amount of money. He shouldn't say, oh, it's so little money involved, why should I even bother investigating the issue? No. It's important that for a poor person for whom even a small amount of money is important, that everything will be investigated and he'll get a fair judgment. So Moshe told the people, the other judges, every hard case you bring to me, doesn't matter if it's a lot of money involved or not. And you'll judge the other cases. I think that's just a great idea, an interesting explanation of the simple pshat of the pasuk. And if you like this video, please press like and please subscribe to our channel.